The following is a rebroadcast of the 1994 Tri-State Megabucks Doubles Tournament of Champions.
Larry Valcourt and Bob Kelly appeared ready to get a third-round win last week in the Tri-State Megabucks Doubles Tournament of Champions. Just like the week before, they took a big early lead, but Bob Mazur and Bill Kaufold had other plans. In a stunning turnaround, they blazed to a 160 middle game, and just like that, what was a 47-pin deficit was now a 1-pin lead. The match stayed very close as both teams got hot early in Game 3. But down the stretch, when the marks dried up, it was this spare in the ninth that gave Kaufold and Mazur a spot in the semifinals. This is Week 4 of the Tri-State Megabucks Doubles Tournament of Champions.
WNDS Sports and Tri-State Megabucks present Stars and Strikes Doubles. From the Londonderry Bowling Center, Stars and Strikes Doubles features the best Candlepin bowlers from around New England in team competition. Stars and Strikes Doubles is produced and conducted with the New Hampshire Candlepin Bowling Association. And now your hosts, Doug Brown and Dan Murphy.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to semifinal weekend in the Tri-State Megabucks Tournament of Champions. First here on Stars and Strikes Doubles from the Londonderry Bowling Center. Here in Londonderry, New Hampshire. Once again, I'm Doug Brown along with Dan Murphy. Thanks so much for being with us. The semifinals featuring our top three teams as nobody's been able to put two wins together, but boy, a great comeback last week for Bob Mazur and Bill Kaufold to get here.
Well, the whole story is now is don't wait until you're 31 pins ahead with one box to go and you start breathing easy. Nothing is sacred here now.
Let's talk about our two teams now for this semifinal match. First of all, our number 3 seeded team from Milford, New Hampshire, Bill Kaufold. His partner from Dover, New Hampshire, is Bob Mazur.
Okay, and Bill comes in averaging 125, has a high single of 210, high triple of 468. Bob Mazur 123, high single of 191, and a high triple of 453.
And last week, after one game, they were trailing by 47 pins, but they came back to take the lead at the end of Game 2 and then hold on down the stretch for a 375 to 365 win over Bob Kelly and Larry Valcourt. So now Bill and Bob move into the semifinals against our number 2 seeded team. From Goffstown, New Hampshire, John Maffeo. His partner from Hampstead, New Hampshire, is Dave Arsenault.
Okay, and John comes in averaging 125, high single of 201, high triple 496, and Dave comes in averaging 122, high single 189, and a 435 for a triple.
All right, $400 third prize money to be split between the bowlers on the losing team. The winning team, of course, will advance to the championship match next week, and that'll be against our top seeds, Ed Gerolman and Brian Fuller. We'll tell you more about that a little bit later on. We'll also talk during the hour about tomorrow's singles semifinal, so you'll be all caught up to date with that, and we'll get this match started, the first of 3 games, right after this timeout. Don't go away. All right, the top 3 teams remain. Kaufold and Mazur with that 393 qualifying score. They rolled that 375 to win last week. And now they face the number 2 seeded team, John Maffeo and Dave Arsenault, in the semifinals. The winning team today advances to the championship match next week against our top seeded pair of Ed Gerolman and Brian Fuller. So here we go, the semifinals to begin, and Bill Kaufold will start the match. I dare say that Bill and Bob probably discussed the fact that they did not want to fall 47 pins behind again and chance making a big comeback again.
I think they say that we like to run off the pace a little bit, but not that far off.
No, Bill's still got a lot left here on the third ball after chopping out the 2-pin with the first ball. And he'll get out of it with a 9.
Diamond leave, 3, 5, 6, and 9 for Bill.
Nope.
19 after 2. Our first look at John Maffeo.
John Maffeo and Dave Arsenault were here in the January series. They came in as the number 1 seeded team, and they made it stand up with a big 4:05 to beat Reggie DeLine and Pat Pay. 10 for John. Of the 6 teams that made it to the doubles Tournament of Champions, only 2 were number 1 seeds. Well, how about this sleeve? Well, it's still happening. The 1, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not quite. This doubles Tournament of Champions has gone exactly according to the seedings to this point. The higher seeded team has won every match. And now as we reach the semifinals, Bill Kaufold and Bob Mazur trying to break that trend and win their second match in a row.
And Bob will have a try at the 2, 5, and 8. Looking for the first match of the mark of the match, and there it is, spare in the third. You see the replay, just straight down the lane, kept the ball in play for the 8-pin, and now the fill.
Oh, big one. 9 drop for Bob.
Can't be much bigger. The 5-pin, piece of wood right out in front now, though.
Shoot right at the cap. Well, not enough. Caught the cap, but not enough of it. Oh. When was the last time you saw that happen?
Well, I don't know. I think I'm going to move my chair.
Someone always has a comment, of course. I heard somebody in the background say, the other way. I was going to say, Bob got that wood turned around the way he wanted, though, on that second shot.
Yeah. It's when our camera people think they can fall asleep up back here, see? I told Bob, says, keep him awake, will you?
Dave Arsenault now for his first appearance of the day. Oh, trying to play it on the inside and just missed. And again, for a $5.
Dave starts on the extreme left side of the approach, or right side of the approach, but then he walks and ends up on the extreme left-hand side. To the left of the center of the lane. Really travels a long ways diagonally from right to left.
Nice comeback after the $5 to put the spare up in the fourth. First mark for the team. Talking about winning 2 matches in a row over in the singles Tournament of Champions. Dan Broder has won 2 matches in a row, and he's into the semifinals. That'll be tomorrow at noon here on the Winds of New England. Dan will be facing the number 2 seed in the tournament, Peter Flynn. Dan has already beaten Mark Gregory and Paul Berger.
Yeah, out of the coals and into the fire.
Yeah. 9 for Bill Kaufold. And of course, next weekend is our championship weekend, the last new shows of the season. Saturday at noon, we'll have the championship match in the doubles tournament, and then a week from tomorrow at noon, the singles championship match.
The 1, 2, and 10. Piece of wood now angled very nicely toward the 10 pin. Oh, might be a little too high. A little too high, didn't get the full benefit of the wood. The head pin almost took the 10, but it'll go by the board as an open frame. 67 through 6. A little high in the wood. Watch the head pin right there, and the sidewall comes in front of the 10. John Maffeo will fill the spare put up by his partner Dave Arsenault in the 4th.
Just slicing the head pin, taking only 4 on the fill, though. Maybe. Not quite. Over on the 7 pin.
Trying to coax that piece of wood to stay on the plate a little longer. Had a chance of knocking the 7 pin down, but just slid off into the pit area, and it's a 10. Lead 9 pins, as you can see, for Bill Kaufold and Bob Mazur.
John Maffeo works as the sales manager for New Hampshire Stamping Company. Lives in Goffstown with his wife Janet, their 3 children, John III, Michelle, and Paul. No. Two near misses for John. And he'll take an 8 box here. So the lead will go to 11 for Kaufold and Mazur. Bob Mazur all over the head pin again, and he'll be shooting at the 6 and the 10.
Nice favorable piece of wood in front of the 4, 6, 10, and another one just to the left. He avoids the one on the left for the spare. 77 plus the bonus ball now in the 7th.
Only 3. The 10 for 90 through 8. Now Dave Arsenault, Hampstead, New Hampshire. Works as a printer for Crown, Cork, and Seal. Solid first ball, but a 5-7 leave.
Wood may come out enough so he could carom the ball off that for the 5, but doesn't want it to come out that far. You hear somebody saying, right there, right there. It looks like if he goes in below the red line or to the right of the red line, he should make the spare.
Right there, fine shot. Matching the spare put up by Bob Mazur, but he only put 3 on his. Let's see what Dave does. Good shot there on the 5-7.
We had to wait a long time for that wood, too. Usually it's a little annoying having to wait that long for the wood to settle down. This time the 3-6-4-7.
Dave Arsenault, by the way, also has 4 children: Jill, Dave Jr., Alicia, and Brian. No, this time. $8. And the lead is 10 for Kaufold and Mazur.
I'm not going to be used to this. Last week they're down 47 after 1. And having the lead here after 1 is a little different.
Well, that was a funny pickup on that ball.
Delayed reaction there. It looked like he was in the 1-3 pocket, but real light. Leads himself to 2-4-5-7-10. A piece of wood that may help him with the 10 pin.
just a little too far to the left. And it's a $7. Big first ball that time, tapping the 4-pin, but it's still there.
That ball broke from right to left, right into the 1-3 pocket. And as Doug said, took everything down but the 4-pin.
Bill has a very kind of easy delivery. It's very compact, very good mechanically, it looks like.
He gets underneath the ball, and with a follow-through, puts kind of that rotation from right to left, which makes the ball break that way. And he'll fill the spare in the 10th, 107 plus this ball.
And how about, let's see, will it go? No, it'll be a 9-drop and a 116 for Kaufold and Mazur with 3 marks in game 1. And they will have the lead unless John Maffeo can put up 2 big marks in the last 2 boxes. And that one got away from John.
Yeah, it's way off target to the right. Good recovery. Back in the pocket. 4-7 left.
And the 10. John's going to have to grab a re-rack over on lane 29, or at least try and clear a piece of wood out of the channel. Again, off to the right, this time for a half Worcester. And takes the 9 for a 99 for the team of Maffeo and Arsenault. So a 17-pin, what is this, a lead for Kaufold and Mazur after one. 64-pin turnaround from last week when they trailed by 47 after one. 2 games still coming. We'll be back. Dave Arsenault will lead game 2 for his team. Generated a lot of speed on that ball, and
a break there
gift
and a
9 drop. Yes.
Yeah. Leaves himself just the head pin and a piece of wood just to the left. Be careful not to cap the wood.
He's on it.
Got a little bit of the cap, but not enough to deflect the ball. Spare up in the first.
3rd mark for the team, 3 for each team to this point.
Oh, boy.
Boy, they have really had trouble on fills on their 3 marks. That's 4, 6, and 2 now on the 3 marks.
He would have taken that, 4, 6, and 2, but he only got the 1 and the 8. Just a 2 fill on that spare.
$6.
$6, and he hit the object pin every single ball. So with a spare, there's just 18 after 2 in the second game.
Bob Mazur to shoot at the 3, 6, 7, and 10, with Wood perhaps moving over into position.
Which looks like it may help him with a 7.
Let's see. Oh, it did, but nothing helped on the 10.
He's got a little too much of the 3-pin, I guess, and left the 10-pin.
And it's still there. Boy, another tough leaf. 5, 6, and 10, no wood. And another 9. So everything remains as is after the first 2 boxes of game 2. John Maffeo, who last time up had a problem with the ball drifting to the right, corrected it that time as he caught the head pin.
3, 5, 6, 10 left.
And he's got it for the spare.
Can't help but think if the wood wasn't there, he might not have gotten that one. He was a little thin on the 3-pin, but the wood kicked the 5-pin from behind. And a little late with that delivery, and he leaves it off to the right when that happens. Just 4. So 2 marks, 2 spares this game, 2 on 1, and followed by a 6 box, now 4. Actually, the 2 marks in the first game only were 4 and 6, so. As Doug said earlier, the fills are really going to come back and haunt him.
2 marks and just 40 through 4.
It's like getting a couple birdies and just be even par.
Oh. I'd only remember the birdies.
I know.
That's all I'd talk about afterwards.
3, 4, and 6. Piece of wood behind the 4-pin, which gives him a little extra shot here. Could play it on the inside. No, not that far inside, I guess.
Nine. The lead drops down to 12.
It's a good sign, Bill. Can't clear a pin out of the channel. I didn't want to learn how to do that anyways.
Yeah, it took him 2 shots to get it out of the channel. Just couldn't find it. Boy, he got a nice break that time off the 3-pin. The 1, 2, and 8. With possible help on the wood here from the side kick. Let's see. Yes. Well, I have a feeling we'll take another look at that as we head to a break. This match pretty tight. Kaufold and Mazur in the lead as we approach the halfway point. Semi-final match. Doubles Tournament of Champions brought to you by Tri-State Megabucks. We'll be back. Dave Arsenault.
Well, lane 30 has been good to them as far as the marks go this game. First and third boxes. Not this time, though. Spread eagle.
Look out. Each team has scattered 4 marks. Oh, that's a great cut right there. He really didn't get a break on the 6-pin, which he actually hit with one of the pins that he cut over, but takes the 8 box. Back in the pocket.
Everything but the 10.
Nope. Now it goes for the 10. Bob Mazur to fill a spare.
And to increase the 14-pin advantage. Oh, he doesn't fill it. With all 10 of them.
First back-to-back marks for either team in this match.
And because he's opposite an 8 frame, that increases the lead now to 26.
First strike today as well. Oh boy. Well, better that should happen on a strike than on a spare. Taking out just the 2-pin. Good recovery, filling the strike with... Oh, Diamond! Spare! Yeah, just how Bob planned it. Spare leave all the way, right?
Takes out the 2-pin. Light hit here, keeps the wood in play. 8-pin goes, 5-pin goes, and I knew the 10-pin was going to go, and all of a sudden the 7.
And John Maffeo is still having problems leaving it out to the right. That 5-pin is still wobbling from the first ball. And finally, it goes over.
In that dangerous position of having another game under the 100 mark. 4 horsemen plus the 9-pin.
Not only that, but the lead for Kaufold and Mazur may break 40 pins when Bill comes up to fill that spare. Another 10 for John. $400 to the runner-up team for third place today. The winners, of course, with a chance at the big money next week against Ed Gerolman and Brian Fuller, and there is another strike on spare.
Spare strike. Last 4 boxes, and they are really drawing out that lead now. This looks like a double.
Oh, it is a double. Oh, mercy. Well, how many times have we talked about how well they pull together as a team? They're doing it again.
Amazing. Just a mere 4 boxes ago, they were only leading by 14. Now it's 56 and counting.
I think if this match continues the way it's going, we may look back to that shot that Bob Mazur made in the 6th box, because remember, that came right in the middle of all this. It was spare strike, then a 1 drop, and then the spare conversion, and now a double strike on top of that. Give Dave credit. He went for that on the 3rd ball. Takes a 9. He played for the same shot on the 3rd ball as he did with the 2nd.
They've got 90 pins in those 5 boxes, plus 3 more bonus balls coming.
That's the first double strike of the Tournament of Champions.
Right.
Last week, Bob Kelly and Larry Valcourt threw 6 strikes, but lost the match. And you called it, Dan. It'll be another game under 100 for Maffeo and Arsenault, and this time, Kaufold and Mazur were able to put up a big number. 96 for a 2-game total, 195, and already Kaufold and Mazur have a huge lead, and it's going to get bigger with this ball.
Working on a double strike.
Just sliding by, this time a half Worcester. Well, this should be no problem. That's twice as many as he had last time.
boy, 2 more.
Well, they didn't get the full benefit of the double strike, but
that's for sure.
Still have a very large lead, a 5-box. 58 pins right now. And another half Worcester.
All of a sudden, Bob's having a tough time finding the head pin.
And a 9. 137. 2-game total, 253. And a 58-pin lead it is after 2 for Kaufold and Mazur, trying for their 2nd straight win and to get into the finals. We'll see how they do after these words. Bill Kaufold, along with Bob Mazur, big 58-pin lead after 2 games. And starting with a solid 9-drop.
Decide to have Bill start. It's not a bad idea. Oh, sliding by the 5.
You heard him clap his hands after he let that go. He knew he'd missed it. Gets it that time. Pin is always a lot bigger on the 3rd ball, of course. And now a spread eagle. See, that goes against your theory of missing a single and then getting a big first ball in the next.
I knew you'd bring that up. I knew. Doesn't happen all the time.
Just enough to make it a rule.
Yeah, right.
There's always an exception.
Well, 17.
Well, that's an opening for Dave Arsenault, who will lead it off for the team of Maffeo and Arsenault.
We got 11 more pins to pick up than Bill and Bob had a couple weeks ago, or last week, first game. And this is how it started, like this, and got a couple marks up there early.
There's one. What they really need to do, though, is start filling marks.
That's right. It's been their nemesis most of the match, or the entire match, I should say. Oh, boy.
Again.
On the head pin, just 3. 1, 5, and 9. And there goes the 3-pin.
Oh my, 5-box.
And there you go again, just a spare 3, 5, 18 for the two boxes, including a spare. So just like 2 9-boxes.
Mazur unleashes, and how about that kick out on the 6-10? And the spare. Nine marks for Kaufold and Mazur. Last week they had 14 in their 375. This time Bob kicks out the 10, but the 6 stays there with the 5-pin. Bob's going to study this one a little bit. All the wood is behind the plane of the pins.
I think you'd want to go on the left-hand side of the 6-pin and have that come back off the wall.
Yep. 45-4 for the team of Kaufold and Mazur. John will shoot at the triangle. The 3, 5, and 6. Oh, boy.
Ball right in there. One of the better balls that John's thrown today. Leaves just a 6-pin, and he's got some help coming.
John seems to be throwing the ball just with a little bit less pace on it now, and he's finding the target a little more often. Spare in the 4th. Kaufold and Mazur still in command, coming down the stretch. Bill Kaufold. Well, you know what we're going to have, Dan Murphy, if Kaufold and Mazur go on to win this match, and I guess it's only fitting. We're going to have the two teams in the championship match that each ran the table during the regular season, 4 consecutive wins in the finals.
Good stat. Interesting. Somebody's streak will be broken.
That's right. Finally. Just missing the head pin. Boy, that did not miss by much.
And that's the lead you usually get. When you just miss the head pin to the right, you usually leave you clear out the 3, 5, and 8 and leave that triangle plus the 4 horsemen.
Oh, he got it.
Oh,
Nice shot for a spare.
An excellent shot.
Mark number 10, and it was a beauty.
You see, just tripping out the 6-pin, and this will be on this will be the fill on a spare. Four horsemen left. 1, 2, 4, 7.
No. Maffeo and Arsenault have not had back-to-back marks today. That comes from not getting the big fills, of course. Don't forget, tomorrow, singles semifinal in the Tournament of Champions. Dan Broder against Peter Flynn.
One, 3, and 6 for Dave Arsenault.
Yes. The spare. Mark number 7 for the team. They've all been spares. Bob Mazur working on one left over from his partner.
That wood turned enough. Maybe if it stays right there, he can take the wood and the ball into the 6-pin and the 10 and have the wood take the 2.
Yes.
From behind.
Had it all the way.
You don't have to hit him hard. You just have to knock him down.
But pulled the fill ball for just 2, the half Worcester. Oh, did he convert it? Did he convert it? 10. And now, John Maffeo will come up for his final two. He's working on a mark. But the team is running out of time.
6 is the highest fill they've had. And there's 8. That's the biggest so far. The 7 and a 9.
But now, of course, they need strikes. There's another spare. Back-to-back marks for the first time.
John turned around and looked at me like, oh, well, there's more than one way of playing that shot, because I don't think he wanted to go that far right. Whatever it takes, John. Light hit on that one. What do you got? 7. Triangle. 2, 4, 5. Trying to make it 3 in a row.
Yes. A late flurry here for the team of Maffeo and Arsenault. Kaufold and Mazur. Bill Kaufold now for the final two. You can go right back to the middle portion of the second game. They went spare, strike, with Mazur throwing the strike, and then on the first ball on the strike, he got 1. And then on a very slow, painfully slow conversion, he converted it for a spare, and then Bill Kaufold threw a double strike on top of that. And it was pretty much lights out.
That shot really took the energy out of John Maffeo and Dave Arsenault as well, because they thought, well, 2 marks, and 3, and maybe a bad fill, but he came right back and converted that. And as you said, that was really the turning point of the match.
No for Bill. So the score for Kaufold and Mazur won't be quite as high as it was last week in their win. But it will be a win, and it will get them into the finals next week. 113-366 for Kaufold and Mazur. And now Dave Arsenault on a spare to roll the final two of the match. They're going to win this third game, but it was the second game that really cost them.
That was a 9-box. It's 112 through 9.
And Dave grabs 2 for the 9, a 121, and a 3-game total, 316. So the big win for Kaufold and Mazur in the semifinals. They've now won 6 matches in a row this season on Stars and Strikes doubles, and they are into the championship next week. We'll set you up for that and for tomorrow's singles match when we return. And welcome back to the Londonderry Bowling Center. Third place in the Tri-State Megabucks Doubles Tournament of Champions for 1994 goes to Dave Arsenault and John Maffeo, who joined me up here now. And guys, $400 to split. And boy, speaking of splits, I guess bad word, the way things went today.
Well, definitely a lot of splits today. On the head pin a lot, and nothing to show for it. These guys bowl pretty good, so.
Put the double strike on top of a couple of other marks. That makes it tough.
Yeah, they're a good team, but like you said, Dave kept going through the middle. I couldn't find a middle. Bad combination today.
Put it together, it's not too bad, but...
No, not really, but next year's coming soon.
All right, we hope to see you soon. Congratulations, guys, and we appreciate you coming by. Thanks very much. All right, congratulations. Now, once again, Bob Mazur and Bill Kaufold. They are through to the finals. I guess we shouldn't be surprised the way it's been going this year for these two guys. This is 6 wins in a row now. And, again, got off to the lead this time, unlike last week, and then just built on it and went from there.
Well, this one wasn't that pretty, but again, a win's a win, and we're going to take it. And, again, Bob and I offset each other. If one's not doing something, the other guy does it, and that's the way it's been going.
Well, I got to ask you about one specific shot, Bob, and I think you know which one, the conversion on the one drop on the strike, and of course, that was set up or followed by the double strike.
Yeah, basically I was playing to safe. I wanted to make sure I got a decent count in the ball. Everything it was just a slow mix and made up for a lot of those half twisters I threw today. I just didn't throw really that good a ball.
Well, I mentioned during the course of the show that I suppose it's only fitting that you guys would get to the finals against Ed Jeroman and Brian Fuller, both teams, the only two teams that ran the table, 4 matches to get into the Tournament of Champions, and now you're going to decide the whole thing. So we're looking forward to that one.
Thank you. Well, hopefully it's going to be a good match.
All right, we'll see you next week. Thanks very much, guys. Congratulations. And here it is, all set up for next week. Our number 1 seeded team against our number 3 seeded team, as Bill Kaufold and Bob Mazur will go for their 7th win of the year. Ed Jeroman and Brian Fuller will be going for their 5th win of the year. Neither team has been beaten, and both teams ran the table 4 matches in their regular series in order to just get to this point.
Well, both teams got a big streak going. It's a great matchup, and it's for all the marbles. So what more can we ask for?
And speaking of good streaks going, let's not forget to remind people about tomorrow's singles match, the singles semifinal. Dan Broder has won 2 matches in a row, and he will take on Peter Flynn in the semifinals.
Well, that's another tough one for him, but he's bowling very, very well at this time. But Peter Flynn is Peter Flynn.
That's right. And that about says it all. We hope to see you tomorrow at noon for the singles semifinal. Don't forget, championship weekend starting next Saturday at noon here on Stars and Strikes Doubles. Until then, for Dan Murphy and the whole crew, I'm Doug Brown. Have a good weekend, everybody. Thanks for joining us.